Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Igbinosa Osaretin Isaac and this is Blended Art Studio. This is the second video on our series pencil drawing tutorials. The first video was all about pencils, and in that video we explained extensively on HB pencils, B pencils and 3B pencils, just basically saying that they are darker and softer, and also the H pencils are lighter and harder. Okay, but also there are other materials you need to bother about when you're learning pencil drawing. So we're going to talk about another material today, which is papers. Yeah, we're going to talk about papers today. What papers do you need to use to draw? The first paper I was introduced to, it's alabaster paper, and I've used that a lot. It's really nice. Then we have fine linen, and eggshell is another kind of paper. Also we have 9th white. I think 9th white is the smoothest paper I've ever used. So eggshell, 9th white, and then Pelican paper. I recently started using Pelican paper and I actually like it. It's better than alabaster. And of course we have cardboard paper, but cardboard paper is not so professional because it's too thin and it tears once you begin to shade heavily on it. It will begin to tear, and you know that's very bad for your drawing. Now your papers can either be smooth textured or rough textured. Depends on your use, you decide which kind of texture papers to use. For pencil drawing, I recommend you use smooth textured paper. Alabaster is one smooth textured paper. Fine linen is rough textured. Eggshell is rough textured. 9th white is very smooth. Pelican is also very smooth. And then cardboard is smooth, but it's not so good. So let's talk a little bit about the smooth and the rough textured paper. Firstly, the smooth textured paper is easy to blend. You really don't have to struggle too much to blend it because it's already smooth, so your pencil strokes are going to be smooth. Now it's very good for pencil drawing. A smooth texture paper works beautifully for pencil drawing. But your rough textured paper, on the other hand, they are not so easy to blend. Okay, but then you can easily use them if you're working on oil painting. So these ones are good for oil painting. Textured papers are good for pencil drawing. Alright, this is fine linen texture. I just want to show you what it looks like up close. This is a very magnified shot of a fine linen textured paper. You can see the texture in it. It looks like rectangles, so it's very nice for oil painting. This is a painting I did on it. Alright, let's see how it shades. Shading on a textured paper, it's very obvious that the shades cannot be smooth because the texture is going to come through from the pencil. You can see those white lines, like rectangular boxes, are popping through, and it may not be a problem if you actually want some, you know, details and some noise in your drawing, but most times you don't, especially when you're trying to make dark shades. Notice how I have to really press it deep to get the dark shade and to try and cover those white spaces. So that's fine linen texture for you. This particular paper is alabaster paper. I don't know if you can see the texture on your phone, but it's a smooth paper and it's very nice for drawing. But as you can see, there are some particles that form as you shade, and they are really not good because sometimes they form in a very obvious place, maybe on the forehead, and you try to get rid of it with an eraser and then you have a messy work. So alabaster paper, you just have to be careful with it in order not to ruin it. And also, if you apply a lot of pressure in your shading, you are still going to begin to tear your alabaster paper, as you can see, which is also very bad. So it's tearing. So try not to apply pressure. If you have to get darker shades, take a darker pencil and use it on it rather than pressing a light pencil. Just maybe pick up charcoal and you are going to have very beautiful shades. So that's your alabaster paper and what it looks like up close. Now this is another paper I have. It's also a textured paper, but I really don't know the name because I just got it from the art store and they didn't even tell me the name. But it's good for painting, not for pencil drawing, because you don't want to do pencil drawing on a brown paper. We use white because you need the white shade to shine through. Although I've seen artists that do pencil drawing on the brown paper and then they use a white charcoal pencil to create highlights and it works for them. So if you want to experiment with it, then fine. Now let's check out Pelican Paper. Pelican Paper is the smoothest I could find. Yeah, it doesn't give any particle per se and it doesn't tear when you shade it hard. I think you should go for Pelican Paper if you have the choice. So basically that's all I want to talk about as far as papers are concerned. In the next video I'll talk about grid lines, and that's going to be a very detailed long video, so please check that one out because I'll really go into exactly how to prepare your reference picture for drawing. That weird stuff over there, ignore it, it's very stupid. Thank you very much for watching this short video on papers. I hope it helps. The next video, if you have any question, of course leave it in its comment section. The next video is going to be about grid lines and how to prepare your reference picture for drawing, and also I'll do a little bit of drawing and shading just to show you how I use grid lines and how I work with grid lines so that you get the best result. I'll see you in the next video.